Welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the wild landscape of Scotland. And for today's adventure, I've basically come to the edge of Aylth village here, and today we're looking for the Cold War ROC nuclear observation bunker, which is hidden within these lands here of Scotland somewhere. I've got a general idea where it may be, but apart from that, it's just one of these adventures. I just need to head into the lands basically, folks, and see what I can see. So I'm just heading along. I've parked at the Blackbird Inn, and I'm just kind of heading along the side of the road. And then there's a strip of trees up ahead, and I think if I head down there, there is a mound in the ground, which actually looks like it could be a potential for the bunker entrance. So there we are, folks, let's go on with this adventure. Right folks, mission update here. I can actually see a mound in the field over here where this tree is. There's like some rough grass, and I'm thinking that must be it. So I'm just thinking the best way to get to it. It looks like there's a house or a wee croft over there, so I'm going to try and go down this strip of trees over here and along the bottom of the field and just investigate. Sometimes when we come to these Cold War locations, the lids are shut and you can't get into the bunker, but it's still cool to document what's there on the surface. Some of the other ones we've been to, we've managed to get in, and there's some cool, interesting like artefacts of history inside. It is cool to see the different condition of all these bunkers as we explore them. Considering they were all built identical, it's amazing the differences in decay as the years go on. So now I've come into the forest. There's actually like a little path kind of leads its way down through here, so I'm just following that. And I'm just keeping an eye on the field to my right. I can see there's actually a gas banger in the field facing this direction. That could go off at any minute. There in the fields at this time of year to scare the birds away from the crops. And that'll be super loud if it goes off. Right folks, so I'm now at the other side of that field, and that thing in the middle is just a pile of stones. There's no Cold War history in the middle of there. So now I'm on like a secondary route, keeping my eyes peeled for the history. It's mad often trying to find these little historical nuggets when they're hidden in wild lands or corners of fields. And often some of the history can be bulldozed or pushed aside, and then it's even harder to find. But this is probably the best time of year to try and find stuff like this. But the adventure's still on. It's been a mad mission so far, folks. So shout out to the fan of the channel that I just spoke to up at the side of that farm shop. And shout out to the farmer as well that I just spoke to at the farm shop. I spoke to the farmer from along the road, but he doesn't have this ground here, and he had never heard of the ROC bunker. But he said there may be actually a World War II resistance bunker within his land, but it's so far gone with 2 forests being planted since the war. Can all the heavy machinery doing the forestry destroys stuff like that. But yeah, it was interesting. It was cool to meet the fan there at the side of the farm shop. I'm actually going down the side of another field now here, folks. Obviously with respects to the farmers and the landowners, I just stick to this kind of bit at the edge. It's like rough land. But I was told the bunker was meant to be in the field kind of opposite the Blackbird Inn, and that's literally the Blackbird Inn at the top of that hill. It's just crazy often trying to pinpoint this sort of stuff. So there is a wee fenced off bit here, and there is kind of like a pond with some rough ground next to it, so I don't know. I think this is more of a drain rather than any ROC bunker hatch right here, folks, which is a shame. When I saw the hatch I was thinking here it is, but look, you can see the difference here with the drain. A drain lid compared to the other bunkers that I've visited over the years on the channel. Seems to be a lot of water pipes or whatever under the ground here. The mission continues, folks. I'm just basically checking the perimeter. It's definitely not around that little pond because I just checked. So I'm just kind of heading back along to where the main road is, and potentially in the field at the opposite side of the main road. I'm starting to think, folks, the surface features of this bunker must be gone, because I'm just not seeing it no matter where I look, no matter what mound of land that I even look at. Right folks, once again I've come absolute miles here, as far as I can in the fields in front of that Blackbird Inn, and I'm just not seeing any evidence here of the bunker. And I can see all the way across to the golf course now at the far side. Sometimes that's the thing with these historical buildings, they can actually be demolished or the surface features can be gone, like we've seen with the Brecon bunker recently. And then try to pinpoint it exactly is so difficult on adventures like this. There's so many little rough pieces of ground and stuff that it's just so difficult to know which one the bunker would be in. The landscape around here, folks, it's so nice and beautiful. It's like a postcard scene, and I've just been right down this lane observing these fields and trying to find this bunker, and I'm really just having no luck, folks. It's amazing how I've explored so many wee corners of the country today that I never normally would have seen, just because I've been looking for this little bunker. But if I can't find it today, I'll have to return in the future. If there is even anything left of this bunker, I can literally see we're right at the edge of the golf course here, folks. And I've just basically been round to the edge of that road. I can see they're doing some timber operations here behind me in that forest. But each of these little mounds or fields, there's just no remains of a Cold War bunker. Look at this, the way the old fence posts are put into the natural stone. Back in the day, that'll be some old like 1800s fence or whatever. Yeah, another thing I was thinking, over where that pond is at the far side, there's a lot of waterworks, and I'm thinking if they've done, like, been laying pipes or whatever through here at a certain point, they've maybe moved the bunker, or even if they've put the pond in there at that time, the bunker's maybe gone nowadays. See this, folks, there's areas like this here which is like water tanks or something to do with Scottish water, and it's the sort of thing, if the ROC bunker had been maybe in an area like that, it's maybe been demolished to make way for some of this. There must be a water tank or something under the ground there. Yeah, it's just interesting to see, folks. I've literally manually walked over all this land and looked at it with my own eyeballs here, and literally I cannot see anything. I might have to scan Google Earth in the future and try and pinpoint more little areas of rough ground or whichever, or like whatever, but in a few months these crops and stuff will all be growing up here, and places like this is harder to get to. That's how I was hoping to conquer this location today. Yeah, it's just strange, there's just no sign of it. You would think it would be on one of these mounds in one of these fields here. There is a gathering of trees up there, but there's no sign of the hatch or any of the air vents within those trees. So yeah, I've been up this area. When I came across this field, I've literally already recorded at this point before I walked down the road. Now I'm heading this way, folks. So if any of my local viewers know anything about the Aylth ROC bunker, get in the comments, because I'll be coming back for a return visit in the future for sure. This is the kind of place I need to find exactly where it was and just say this is the area that it was at, because it is cool to document that history for the world to see before it's gone and forgotten. And as I look around here, there's just no obvious signs of anything that looks like the bunker hatch. That's me nearing the main road again, where I started this adventure, and I've done a complete circuit, looking at every field, analysing every bit of rough ground between the fields. It's just a total mystery, folks, not unless it's further up this direction. So there we are, folks. I'm going to end this one here. I've literally come in my car and come down one of these other roads quite near where I was just exploring to have a look in some of the other fields a bit further around the corners and stuff, and I'm really just not seeing any evidence of this bunker. But it's cool still to tell the story on this video of the Aylth ROC nuclear observation bunker, built at the start of the Cold War as part of a network of observation bunkers, 1,500 of them, some of which were closed down in 1968, others kept open until 1991, until the end of the Cold War period. But sadly we didn't get to actually see the physical bunker or even the location, but in the future I'll try and come back and go to the very location, folks. But I'm going to end this one here. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back soon with the next adventure, wherever we end up going.